Hey everyone, this is Adam with the Modern Collective. I'm back with another Tip Tuesday, our weekly blog feature on the Modern Collective blog. We are answering a request today from Lisa of Lisa McCulley Photography in Texas. Lisa is asking us about the new design trend that we blogged about a couple weeks ago on the Modern Collective blog, and that new design trend is gold foil. We're seeing this all over in the photo industry. We're seeing it in the fashion, in all areas. Wherever we go, we're seeing this cool new gold foil look. It adds a little bit of sparkle to anything you're creating. And Lisa specifically asked how we applied the gold foil look to text in our recent grad card designs in the 2013 collection. So as you see on your screen right here is our recent blog post about gold foil and what has inspired us the most from the new gold foil look, and also the two grad cards that we used this design trend on, the Zoe and the Taylor 5x7 grad cards. So if you haven't already read this blog post, head on over there to see our inspiration. But today's Tip Tuesday is going to show you how to create this look in Photoshop and apply it to text. So let's jump over to Photoshop and we'll get started. And by the end of this, you'll be applying gold foil to everything you have in any marketing piece that you want to create or design or print product that you want to create for your clients. So let's get started. Okay, I moved over to Photoshop, and as you can see on my screen, we have an image of gold foil. This is something I found with a simple Google search when designing our two grad card designs that use gold foil. And this user is actually on DeviantArt, and they shared a big resource of images that they took of gold foil that they used in a design project, and they put it up as a stock image for anyone to use in their designs as well. So check out the blog post. I'll put a link to this gallery where you can go and browse these images of the gold foil and download a copy for you to use in your designs as well. It's a really great resource. So the concept of adding this gold foil texture over the top of text is really as the same idea that we would use in using like a holiday card, for instance. So you typically take your client's image and you drag it over the top of the image placeholder, and you use a clipping mask to add that image into the holiday card. The concept of adding the gold foil is the exact same. The gold foil acts as your client image, and the text acts as that image placeholder frame in that holiday card. So we're just going to drag this over the top of some text, do a clipping mask, and it's going to fill that text with this texture. So let me show you that. It makes a little bit more sense once we go in and you see the actual document. So this effect really works in any size document that you have. It works with more things than just text as well, and I'll show you that at the end. You can apply it to shapes, you can apply it to different layered graphics that you maybe have in your template already. Just try to think outside of the box after watching this video tutorial and play around with the gold foil technique a little bit more rather than just text. Because Lisa asked about the text effect in Photoshop, that's what we're concentrating on today. So before we can get that texture into text, we need some text. So I'm going to grab the text tool and I'm just going to type out sparkle. I think that's fitting for today's demo and what we're working with. So just type out the text. Font selection is key here. You want to keep something or choose a font that is fairly simple, something that has a little bit of weight to it that the texture can be applied to, and you don't want anything too crazy. The gold foil is a pretty heavy stylized texture already, and you don't want any font that's going to be really crazy and way too busy for your design. So we're going to just do a simple sparkle text, and the next step is to drag over that texture of the gold foil on top of this text. So I'm going to go and grab that same image. We're going to just drag it over the top here, and we are done with that, so we can just come back to this document here. So we have our text layer and we have our gold foil layer that is over the top of the text layer. So as you can see in our layers palette, we have the gold foil layer directly on top of the sparkle text layer. So we need to kind of scale this up a little bit with the transform tools. So I'm going to just hold shift and drag that a little bit. We didn't do it too large, so it's not going to get really pixelated or anything, but it will still look natural in that text. So over in the layers palette, once again, we just need to create a clipping mask that will insert this layer and fill this text layer with that texture. To do that, we just hold down the Alt key and we hover in between these two layers, and it brings up this little icon here, and we just need to click between, and it creates a clipping mask. So if we go back over to our document, we can see that it placed this texture within this text. So we can move this around if you want it more on the lighter side, or if we want to drag it over to the darker portion of the foil. We can rotate this if we want it, rather than going light to dark, we can go dark to light. Depending on the direction of the light in your template, if you have drop shadows, you want to make sure that that direction of light kind of matches the drop shadows in the rest of your design. And you can kind of play with that a little bit. So it's as easy as that, as typing out your text, dropping in that gold foil texture image, and just doing a simple clipping mask to put that texture over the top of the text. You can add drop shadows to this. I find that although sometimes it looks alright, it's probably best just to keep it simple like this. But play around with it, go into your effects, apply it to the sparkle layer, go into your effects and do a drop shadow or maybe an inner shadow, and play around with that a little bit, and it can create kind of a cool embossed effect to that as well. Other things I want to just show you really quickly is that you can apply the same thing to other graphics. I'm just going to draw out a simple circle, and I'm going to go back to that texture document. We're going to drag this over the top of that circle. Move this out of the way. And the same thing again, we have our circle layer, we have our textured gold foil layer, and we just do a clipping mask here, and you have that same texture in a circle. Okay, we can even layer text on top of that. Let's just put glitz, and I'm going to scale this down a little bit. Can change this to white to make it kind of look like a cool cutout effect. And it's kind of almost like a little sticker type look to this too. We can rotate a little bit, and you have kind of a fun little graphic there as well. So play around with that texture, apply it to different graphics that you have, and have fun with it. It's a cool new design trend. Use it in moderation. Obviously, you don't want to create your whole template with this effect, but it adds a little bit more sparkle and a little bit more dimension to your template, or your designs or your product designs or whatever you are trying to design for your clients or for your studio. So I hope this helps today, gives you a little inspiration to try the gold foil technique in your designs, and I hope you check back next Tuesday for another Tip Tuesday. If you found this useful, share it with your friends. If you create something really cool with this technique, post it to our Facebook page at facebook.com/themoderncollective, and we'd be excited to see that as well. So have a great day, and we will see you back next Tuesday for another Tip Tuesday.